This week there was the most interesting, fascinating, I should say, piece of news. Unfortunately, didn't make it onto the major news stations, at least to my knowledge. But the news was that in Russia today, with this very dangerous situation between Russia and Ukraine, excuse me, 15 senior Russian generals and military people traveled to the city of Lubavitch, and as they said, they came to pray at the at the tombstones of the tzaddikim, Tzemach Tzedek and the Rebbe Marash, who were buried in Lubavitch, and they heard that if you come and pray over here, you will be blessed. And they came to pray for peace and averting war between Russia and Ukraine, and who knows what else. This reminded me of a personal trip that I had 35 years ago to Lubavitch. And more than anything else, a particular Tefilin campaign moment, the most unusual one. Now, we're very used to be stop others in the street, asking them, are you Jewish? We'd like to put on Tefillin, and so on and so forth. This could be in the street, in the malls, in the airports, anywhere you go. But in 1987, my brother-in-law, Reb Gershon Grossbaum, who is one of the world's top experts in building mikvahs, literally built all over the world already a mikvah, was called by the Rebbe's Russian desk office to travel to Russia for a second time to re-establish the mikveh in Moscow in the old Marina Rosh Shul, and that was actually the only kosher mikveh that people were able to use. Those trips were clandestine. We didn't go as rabbis. And I got a call then from Rav Levertov, who was running this department together with Vidal Yakov, asking me if I'm willing to go to Russia. And I was told I have 10 minutes to give my okay. Realizing that this is probably coming with the Rebbe's approval, I immediately said yes. And off we went in the summer of 1987 to Moscow and Vilna. While in Vilna, we had an opportunity to travel to Lubavitch. It cost us $1,000 to get a permit, a KGB driver, an in-tourist guide, and this, what was supposed to be a 10-12 hour trip back and forth, cost us, as I said, $1,000 cash. We were happy to pay it. The agreement was they're going to take us to the cemetery in Lubavitch, which was called in Russian Yevreiske Kladbisha. Turned out, this KGB driver did not know where he was going, and we ended up in front of the train station of the city of Vitebsk, a humongous plaza. This is after driving 7 hours and sitting 2 hours in the car, waiting for them to find out exactly how to get to Lubavitch and the cemetery. They went to a police station and here and there. At one point, I had this urge to step out of the car and put on my tefillin in middle of the plaza in front of hundreds of people walking back and forth. Gershon tried to dissuade me from it, but I was determined. I decided I'm asking the Rebbe. I had that with me, one of the Rebbe's Lekutei Sichos, the books of the Rebbe's teachings. I opened it up at random. The first few words I find on the right-hand side of the page, where the Rebbe speaks about the importance of Mivtza Tefillin campaign. I tell Gershon, I'm going out, I'm putting in my tefillin in public, in communist Russia, which this is a major crime. I did it. I stood there with my tefillin. And as I was watching the people walking by, I noticed quite a few faces looking at me in earnest and even give a quick smile, obviously Jewish and recognizing what I'm doing. This was definitely the first time they saw in their lives somebody putting on tefillin in the middle of the street. No, I didn't put on tefillin with anybody else, because within a short moment of my standing there, the driver and the guide appeared, and in a very serious manner asked, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm doing my Jewish thing. I'm a tourist. I do like I would do anywhere else in the world." Says, "This is not the rest of the world. This is Russia. Over here, you don't do that." Immediately step back into the car. Obviously, I did it. But in the meantime, I definitely warmed up many people just seeing a Jew in middle Vitebsk plaza, communist Russia, putting on tefillin. So that was my Tefilin campaign. If you wonder, we ended up in Lubavitch also. So Eibishter, how about getting onto the plaza of the Beis Hamikdash now?